solving. When I am about to sign up for a new service and I get that darn terms and conditions, like, do you agree to this? I'm like, oh man, I know I should read this. I know I should. I don't know what the heck. I could be like giving up my firstborn for all I know, right? Like that I'm signing up for this. But who has the time, right? Who really has the time or energy to really look through the actual terms and conditions? So the idea is for me to be able to, through my privacy bodyguard, have a preset filter of what are my tolerance levels for different products and services, of what I'm willing to give up in terms of privacy versus not. So for example, I would sign up and it would ask me questions like, based on the various properties I'm considering signing up for, can it send me direct mail? Can it sell my phone number? Can it track my location? Can it sell my location? And I can say, okay, ask me or never. So done. It knows what my tolerance levels are. And then, so I'm going to go sign up, or I'm considering signing up for some service. For example, maybe color. And so this sign-up page comes up, and there's a terms and conditions attached to it. But our system, which is persistent throughout all websites, is so intelligent, it puts up a big flag, kind of like antivirus software does sometimes. Whoa, this site will do the following things that you're not okay with. For example, in this case, maybe selling my phone number or selling my location. Are you sure you want to proceed? And so in that regard, I get to choose, well, am I really willing to give up those things for this service? And then...
so that is the user side. We expect that within a couple of years, or within 3 months, we expect to have 100 million users, and there will be so many site operators who have lost so many potential customers that they'll want to know why are they losing those customers. So they can come to the provider admin page, at which place they can see kind of, how many people, it's almost like 20% of their leads ended up backing off and not actually converting this month. Or you could say the number, that's like 20 million users right there that they lost. You can say, today's losses, with the, making it very graphical, 22% of the people who came to their site because of the selling of location didn't go through with that. Similarly for phone number, also 17%. These are red because they're more serious. There's only 8% from the selling of photos. So, it sort of tells the company, well, maybe if we decided not to do these things, we could still do this, and we'd get a lot more users. We can also see what attributes were okay with people. We can look at the historical losses kind of with this graph. So this is, it's a historical, it's from 30 days ago to today. The red line is the overall loss rate, so maybe it's kind of started at 15%, went down to maybe 5%, and then kind of came back up to about 15%. You can also, you'll have different lines for each of these features. And so selling my location, you can see right here, there were no losses from that up until June 1st, at which point this feature was launched, and then most of these losses overall came from that feature.
And the other thing that's cool about this is companies are constantly changing their terms and conditions. So it will be dynamic in terms of if my preferences are already set, it would alert me if a service I had signed up for changes, and I could decide, well, maybe I don't want to be part of that anymore. So what we love about it is it's putting power back in the hands of the consumer. It's really helping them to be in control over, their data and their privacy. And we think that the business model is that companies would be willing to pay us for that because we're going to sit in the middle and we're going to know and we're going to understand the tolerance level that people have for their products based on privacy settings. And
Yes.
so
Yes, and an alternative business model that's a little crazier is we can actually say over here, when this comes up, we can actually have referrals to competitors who are paying us and say, we won't violate your privacy, we won't sell your phone number. And that's basically very targeted advertising.
So we'd make money by selling their data.
Exactly.
referrals.
So the company's going to be created to sit on top of you guys and alert companies when you're selling their data.
Exactly.
That'll be our subsidiary.
You'll use the same technology, yeah, if I can. Ta-da!
Yeah, so the timer did go off. I'm setting it for 10 minutes starting now.
Awesome. Before we dive in, let me ask you a very, very specific question. If you had to describe one very specific user in one very specific context where they first interact with your product, what is that situation?
When they first interact with our product.
First experience the user.
Taylor!
So maybe Facebook, because they have their outrageous privacy stuff, employs them to have this privacy manager up there, and then they can start monitoring it. So maybe it's not that the end user goes to you and employs it, but maybe the business employs it.
How are you thinking about it?
Wow, so you're saying Facebook would potentially...
If you're going to sell to Facebook in the end, you can
I would
tell
think
them.
Facebook would initially hate this.
Yeah.
Well, in a way, you're not impacting them negatively in any way. You're just saying, we'll track for you why
Right.
people aren't signing up.
Right. But I guess the question was, user, how would we first get them here?
I want you to take me to describe a specific user in a specific context using this. Just paint a picture.
So, color. The reason why that one came up is I've heard it's this really scary app where you're like giving up a lot of personal information about yourself.
Okay.
And so I haven't even gone there because, I've heard these scary things about it. But let's say I was to go there, it would demystify it for me, right? Because I have already set up my tolerance levels for different privacy areas. And so when I'm on color, my bodyguard does the work for me. It pulls out from the terms and conditions the exact things that I may not be okay with. So it does the work for me so that I don't have to spend 2 hours reading the terms and conditions.
So this is like a plug-in in a way?
Yes. Well,
So I think that it's actually, it lives in the browser. It's a browser plugin. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Much like the way
I
Mac
think
is antivirus.
I think
is.
another product, like a macro level overview of something of a product like that would be something like along the lines that Taylor was talking about. Becoming kind of like the authority that gives certificates to sites or
Mhm.
like that about their privacy, or to mobile apps that if it carries a certain certificate, maybe there are different levels. It's secure to use, and they'll pay for that.